That we'll be discussing is Maestro. It stars Carey Mulligan and Bradley Cooper. It's Bradley Cooper's second film that he's directed. The other one was A Star Is Born, and it's based on Leonard Bernstein, who is a famous composer. So we've seen the trailer. It's a big one for the Oscars, I think. Pretty sure it is. What are your thoughts on it?
I really, really love that trailer. Bradley Cooper might win Best Actor. He might win Best Actor. He might beat Khyan and Nayan.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks fantastic. He looks really good. And those prosthetics might be some of the best I've ever seen.
Looks really good at
He looks like a completely different person. I was reading up on the prosthetic side of things, actually. He would have to wake up at 1 a.m., 6 hours to get it done. And it's all on the hands, the hair, and like this whole face, and obviously the nose and everything. But he looks incredible. I don't know if I'm going to be more impressed with the performance or the directing, because I know this film depicts 5 different time periods of Leonard Bernstein's life, mostly covering the complex relationship between him and his wife, and obviously going to be covering some of Leonard Bernstein's parts of his sexuality and all that stuff. I think this is going to be a knock in the park for Bradley Cooper. He knows how to handle romance. We saw it in A Star Is Born. And I think what things are missing from the movie industry these days is those complex romance stories. I think we're seeing less and less romance in films these days. But what we saw in A Star Is Born, if he can even capture something of that in terms of the romantic side of it, I think it's going to be a heavily hard-hitting movie. And just, he seems to have elevated his game from his directorial debut to his second movie, based on the technical side of things. This movie looks beautiful. You know, you got the black and white, you got a different aspect ratio in there. It's just, yeah, it's, as Khyan was saying early in the week, it's just, the mark of someone who's just, it doesn't feel like their second movie.
No.
It's just, it looks so beautifully polished. And I really can't wait for this. That's why I think I had Maestro as 10th in my most anticipated, and it looks like it's going to pay off.
Yeah. I thought you were going to vomit there for a second.
No, I just turned my head and suddenly coughed. On to your first comment, I think, James. You said, Bradley Cooper could be on track for winning Best Actor. And it just occurred to me, has anyone won Best Actor and Best Director at the same time?
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't think anyone would have done that.
Yeah, that's kind of...
maybe someone might have been nominated, like Clint Eastwood or something. But I don't think...
Not one.
Yeah, I don't think one would ever have been won both at the same time.
Yeah. It's just too hard to do.
So hard to do. Yeah.
If he pulls it off.
But yeah, I think it really gave me the feelings of, like I was saying earlier in the week, someone who's well beyond their years as a director. There are plenty of examples, not plenty, but maybe a handful of examples of younger directors, and I say Bradley Cooper is a younger director, who are capable of, Damien Chazelle as an example, who are beyond their years in terms of their skill. But yeah, there's a feeling that you get when you watch it. And it's very much something that only those people who have a master's touch at directing can produce. You can get that sort of, you start getting this feeling of when you're watching those shots between him as an older man and him in his current age, and you get this very sort of almost, it feels like the story of his life. It feels, you start getting these feelings that you only feel when you watch a Spielberg or a Scorsese or one of those. And I'm not saying Bradley Cooper is at that level, but I'm saying he's reaching that level of, masterful directing tier if he can pull this off.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever think that Bradley Cooper at some point in time can get to that kind of level or status as a director?
I think so. I think he'll need to take a step back from acting and voice performing and stuff like that, and just focus on directing. Because A Star Is Born released was 2018.
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah. So this is like 5-6-ish years
Yeah.
in between then. So if he just takes a step back from acting and just purely focuses on directing, if he just keeps releasing banger after banger, I think he can definitely get up to that level.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can release a movie every maybe say like 3 years, 3 or 4 years, then yes, because it's the pace of about Tarantino and maybe even loosely the pace of Nolan. He maybe releases something every 3 years.
Yeah, he's every 3 years. Yeah.
So if you can get to that stage, and yes, because to get to that tier, you actually need to release a lot of movies because they need to hit a lot of avenues. You really need to, as suckful as it is, you have to prove yourself in a sense. You have to prove that you can produce masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece.
Yeah,
and then masterpieces in different ways. You know.
Yeah, and I think he'll need to explore different genres. Can't stay in music. Or romance and that kind of stuff. So he'll need to move on. But yeah, I think hitting them at a higher clip would get him to like a higher status in terms of how he's being viewed as a director.
Yes.
But I mean, this is just very impressive. Since he is he's producing and writing this as well. So he's kind of
doing everything.
Yeah, he's the composer of this movie. And I think just someone to put that together, I think, it's a very tough thing to do, especially if you're going to be headlining it as a director or not as an actor.
Yeah.
It's just an added layer of harder work and understanding all this other stuff as well. So, big year for Bradley Cooper.
Big year.
The thing I like about the trailer is the different sort of visual style we're going to get to it. We're going to get like color scenes, but it's all going to be different types of color scenes, if that makes any sense. Yeah. And they also have black and white scenes, and those black and white scenes seem different to the other black and white scenes. So I think visually it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I had my YouTube, when I was watching it on YouTube, the trailer, I tried to select the best option, but YouTube was like choking, trying to do the trailer because there was so much grain in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know, there were sequences in it where it's a very heavy grain and clearly shot it on film. And you just see all like the compression in YouTube, and it's going, can't handle it.
Same when I was watching, I was like, I clicked the highest quality, but this seems like 720p or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it should be good, and the Oscar race is definitely going to get shaken up once this releases, I think.
Yeah.